Hi, this is Srinivas. So today we are going to see about conditional statements. So in our previous class we have seen about your decision making and your conditional statements. In conditional statements we are having if else, if, nested if, and the last one is your switch. So these are your conditional statements in your C language. Using these conditional statements, your C program flow of control will change depending upon the decision that has been taken. So here we are going to see about your if. Basically we call it as if case. So what is this if, and what your C processor will do if it sees your if case in your C program. So we have seen that your keywords, if is a keyword, so whenever you write your if, you need to write in your lowercase. So whenever your C processor sees this if, it understands that it is a conditional statement. So it will do a particular task depending upon the whatever the condition that has been satisfied in your C program. So for that we will see this flow chart first. So what is this if, and how your flow of control or your flow of execution of your C program will taken place in your C program. So for this, if you see your if case, so this is your start. So whenever your program starts, so here what we are doing is we are taking a condition. So if this condition has been satisfied, then it will go to this statement called true. If the condition is satisfied, then it will come to this true. If the condition is not satisfied, it will go to this false statement. So here the condition, if for example, if you take A greater than B. So here if this condition is satisfied, A greater than B, then if this condition is true, it will come here, it will execute the statements that are present here. Similarly, if A is not greater than B, then the condition is false. So it will directly go to this false statement and it will not execute the statements that are present here. So your flow of control will change. If the condition is true, it will execute these statements. If the condition is false, it will not execute the conditions that are there in this statement. So it will come out of this flowchart and it will stop here. So this is about your if. If the condition is satisfied, then it will execute the condition statements. If the condition is false, it will not execute the statements that are present here in your if statement. So this is about your if, and what is the structure of your if in C language. So now we have seen that if is a keyword, so lowercase. So this is your if, and if will take a condition. So here we will write your bracket. In bracket we will write the condition, and if this condition is satisfied, then only the statements that are present in your if case will be executed by your C processor. If the condition is false, it will not execute these statements in your if. It will skip these statements and it will come out of this if case or your if loop. So here we are writing condition. So condition can be anything: A greater than B, or your B greater than C, or your A equal to B. So depending upon whatever the condition we are giving, if this condition is executed, is satisfied, then only the statements here will be executed. But here if will not accept any values, your if will take only the Boolean value. So depending upon the condition, this condition will give you a Boolean value. Boolean value is nothing but your true or false. So if will take only two values, either true or false. If we are talking about digitally, it is 1 or 0. So if will take only either true or false. So here this is the structure. If this condition A is greater than B, if this condition is satisfied, then this condition will return you a Boolean value that is true. So if will take only the Boolean value true. If the true boolean value true is there, then the statements that are present in this if will be executed. And here if you can see here, this is your flower bracket. So this is starting of your flower bracket and this is your ending of your flower bracket. So if the condition is true, that represent boolean value is true is given to your if, the statements in these brackets, those statements are executed. So these are your group of statements that are present in your if case. So if you are having more than one statement, we will write these flower brackets and all those statements are placed between these two flower brackets. So it will execute all the statements that are present here in this if case. Okay. So if there is only one statement in your if, then we can write your flower bracket, and even if you are not writing your flower bracket, it will execute only the first statement that is present in your if. Okay, if you are not writing these flower brackets, for example, so the condition is true, so your C processor understands that only one statement is related to your if, so it will execute only the one statement, the top statement in your if. If you are having more than one, then what we need to do is, in order to execute all these statements, we need to write these flower brackets. So whatever we write the statements between these flower brackets are executed by your C processor. So this is about your if case in your C language. So we will see a small example here, a small program for your if. So for that I am writing my main function, and whatever the statements that are written between these flower brackets, it will, your C processor understands these are the statements that are present in your main function. So here I have taken an integer value I, a variable, and the value has been assigned as a 10. So it is an integer value. I have specified its data type as integer. So C processor, whenever it sees this particular statement, a variable of name I, and it is of integer type, so it will allocate 2 bytes of memory, and the value is placed here, and the value is a 10 in the main memory. I is a variable which is having a value of 10, and your memory is 2 bytes, integer type. 2 bytes of memory will be allocated to this variable I. So here if you can see, I have written my if case here. If and the condition I greater than 15. If this condition is satisfied, then it will going to execute the statements that are present here between these flower brackets. So here I have written only one statement, printf 10 is greater than 15. Okay. So here if you can see 10 greater than 15, here the condition is false. So my if will return a value, a boolean value of false. Because the condition is not satisfied, it will return a false boolean value. So C processor, whenever it sees a false from my if, it is not going to execute the statements that are present in my if case. So it will come out of this if. And here if you can see here, there is one more printf statement which is not present in my if. So this printf statement is not executed because the condition is false. So it is going to print this statement, that is I am not in if, and this is the end of your program. So output of this is I am not in if. So this is the output you can see in your output screen because the condition is false. But if you can see here, if I take my variable as 20, so 20 value is assigned to my I variable. So if the condition is here, I greater than 15, 20 greater than 15, yes, the condition is true. So my if will return a true boolean value here. So whenever your C processor sees a true boolean value from your if case, it is going to execute the statements that are present in my if. So it is going to execute this statement printf. Here I am writing 20. 20 is greater than 15. So the output is 20 is greater than 15. And next, this is the only one statement in my if. So it will come out of this if. Again it will see this one more statement, printf I am not in if. So again it is going to print I am not in if. So whenever the condition is true, my output is these two statements. If my condition is false, it will not execute this statement, it will execute only the statement that is present outside of my if. So this is the condition. If the condition is satisfied, then only it is going to execute the statements in this if. So this is about your if statements in your